Hold up. Wait a minute. I wish you love, peace, and hair grease.
Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.
Yeah, you know the one shooting straight from the hip.
This is Carla Renata, aka the Curvy Critic, and I shoot straight from the hip.
Yeah, you know the one shooting straight from the hip.
Hi, everybody. I'm back. It's been a couple of weeks and I've been doing a lot of stuff. So I'm going to get right on into it. So, I guess it was, but before I do that, let me welcome you. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Carla Renata, aka the Curvy Film Critic. You have tuned into that podcast. I am your host, Carla Renata, and what we do here is we do film reviews and we talk to people above and below the line in the film industry. Now I can get on with it. But before I do that, I always have to say hello to my boy Brandon. He said that he stopped by a little earlier for me to say that he's working at Red Robin, so he probably won't be here live tonight. And that he had a great weekend getting his equipment for his animation classes next month, and watched two movies, Luck and Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles. And he said that both of them were great. Thank you, Brandon. Have fun at Red Robin tonight. All right. So I'm super, super duper excited. I got my hair done by Miss Ashley Nicole. So got my new locks done, not locks, but locks. Anywho, so around July 27th, House of the Dragon had a premiere here in LA, and I went to that, and I had a chance to hang out for a second with Matt Smith, the star of the show, who I interviewed a little while ago from Morbius. And if you go to my Instagram page, you can see pictures of us there. I wasn't able to pull the pictures up here because, child, it was just way too much going on. I just want to give some RIPs out of three very different people who had a huge impact on my life. One is Mary Alice, the Tony and Emmy Award winning actress who starred in Sparkle. She was on A Different World. People of a younger generation may remember her from her appearance in the Matrix franchise. But what happened? Everything went away. Oh, but she lost her life. And so I want to send condolences to her family if she had family members left. We also lost Michelle Nichols, who was Lieutenant Uhura on Star Trek, in the original Star Trek on television. And little people know that the only reason she stayed on Star Trek is because a chance meeting with Martin Luther King, where he revealed that when he had free time on his hands, that he would watch Star Trek with his kids. And he begged her not to leave because she was going to leave. He begged her not to leave, and because she didn't leave, we now know her from being in an iconic role. It was the first time I'd seen a beautiful Black woman like that on television. Everybody remembers that infamous interracial kiss that she had with Captain Kirk, aka William Shatner. But she was a personal friend of mine, and I will miss her dearly. She was always there for me. She would drag me around Hollywood and introduce me to some of the most wonderfully gifted, talented people in Hollywood. And she was always down for giving me advice, and I will miss her greatly on a personal note. So RIP Michelle Nichols. And yeah, we also lost Olivia Newton-John today, who everybody remembers her from Grease, but I will remember her from the amount of awareness that she gave to breast cancer. Um, she was very, very adamant and very, very vocal about breast cancer. She was very uh, supportive of helping get the word out for women to get early mammograms and all of that. So I I miss her. I miss her. I really do. And so rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John. I'm sure John Travolta's like, what is going on? Um, yeah. So I want to tell you those three things, and then I also wanted to tell you that I told you before I left that I was doing an interview with Gugu and Batara for this TV series that she has on Apple TV Plus. Oops, it went away. That she has on Apple TV Plus called Surface. So I want to make sure that you guys check that out. It is I did it for the Cherry Picks. So if you go to the Cherry Picks website, you will see all of the information there for that. I also attended the premiere for 13 Lives, which is Ron Howard's new film, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. What else did I do? The Emmy Award nominations came out. I'll talk about that closer to the end of the show. Um, oh, yeah, what else happened? Oh, and I did a few junkets and things. And what else did I do? I think that's about it. Yeah. So today we're gonna I'm gonna talk about these films here. We're gonna talk about why does this keep doing this? I keep pushing the button, it keeps not doing it. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit about Easter Sunday. I have interviews from the cast of Easter Sunday, including Joe Coy. I have interviews with the cast of A Love Song, including Wes Studi and Dale Dickey. I'm going to talk about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And I'm also going to talk about Luck. I said I was going to talk about 13 Lives. There's a couple of other films that I'm going to talk about, including, I didn't talk about Nope before I left, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Nope. And I'm going to talk about DC Super Pets. That's a lot of movies. I know that's a lot of movies going on. So I'm going to start out the conversation talking about Miss Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. All right. So let me put myself back on the screen so that y'all can see me. Plot out. All right. So what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Let's talk about this film for a second. It's directed by Helena Rain for A24. It was released. A lot of these movies that I'm going to talk about have been released on August 5th, which was this past Friday. And some of them, like I think Nope was released on July 22nd or 29th or somewhere around in there. But this one, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies for A24 was released on August 5th. It stars Pete Davidson, Amanda Stenberg, and Maria Bakalova. It deals with a group of 20 somethings that they plan this hurricane party at a remote family mansion, and they play this game called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. It turns deadly, and it gives us a fresh and funny look at backstabbing, fake friends, and one party gone very, very awry. So this film is kind of like if Clue married the Scream franchise, and they had babies that gave birth to Scary Movie. That's the best way to describe it. It was a lot of fun. I don't know if it was the two margaritas that I had that made it a lot of fun, but it was a lot of fun. And it's kind of like when it talks about the backstabbing and the fake friends, honey, that's Hollywood and the entertainment industry on the regular. So there's that. I really loved when they talked about hate listing podcasts. That made me laugh out loud. And this film taps into a generational anxiety about dating mores, whether you should date online, whether you should do old school um, relationships, our collective difficulty in balancing reality with online behavior. Because a lot of things happen online. But I liked it. It was fun. Get your life and have some fun at Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Now I want to talk a little bit about Luck, which is streaming right now on Apple TV Plus. It also was released on August 25th. It stars Whoopi Goldberg, Jane Fonda, Lil Rel, Simon Pegg, and Eva Novoselova. This is the story of Sam Greenfield, the unluckiest person in the world, baby. Yes, she is. And suddenly she finds herself in a never before seen land of luck, where she must unite with magical creatures there to try to turn her luck around. Now, you've heard that old adage, find a penny, pick it up, and all day long you'll have good luck, baby. That is not Sam's reality. And needless to say, she got a black cat for a best friend. Just saying. But it was fun. The movie was fun, but I will say this: it was produced by John Lasseter. Now, if y'all remember, John Lasseter was over at Pixar until some unsavory situations went down and took him out of the Pixar family, right? So he's no longer at Pixar, but now he's over at Apple TV Plus. And I gotta say, there was nothing original about Luck. I love Luck, but there was nothing original about it. It was like Inside Out meets Soul meets Toy Story meets Cars, but with different people and leprechauns in the color green. That's what it was. So it wasn't original, but the kids will like it anyway. Again, it's called Luck, and it is streaming right now on Apple TV Plus. Now, um, I'm going to get into my first one, which is a love song, because I want to play these interviews for you guys. So, A Love Song is an indie film that's directed by Max Walker Silverman, and it stars Dale Dickey and Wes Studi. Dale Dickey and Wes Studi are OGs in the Hollywood business. They played all kinds of tough characters, bad guys, you name it, they played it. But there's never been a love story that's centered around seasoned individuals, I'd like to say, where it ends up being an unrequited love of sorts. So Dale Dickey plays Faye, who is a lone traveler who bides her time fishing and birding and stargazing in a rural Colorado campground as she awaits the arrival of Alito, who's played by Wes Studi, a figure from her past who's navigating his own tentative nomadic journey across the rugged West. Like I said, unrequited love between two seasoned people. We've never seen this on screen before. It's a tour de force performance for Dale Dickey and Wes Studi, hands down. They need to get some love. I'm going to talk about it all award season. It's beautifully shot by Max Walker Silverman. He did some really guerrilla stuff up in there, but it's gorgeous. And the message that I got is that love is being happy for someone, even if it's not you that they ultimately choose. So again, it's called A Love Song. But without further ado, I do have some interviews from the stars of the movie. And the first one is from, I'm going to play the first one with Wes. No, I'm going to play the first one with the director, Max Walker Silverman. So here is Max Walker Silverman, the director of A Love Song. I loved this film so. Why does this keep doing this? I don't understand. Oh man, I loved this film so very much. It really, really touched my heart. And one of the reasons I loved it so much is that, as Dale Dickey says, you got her big old face front and center
Yeah.
for the majority of the film. And I love that so much. I love that she's getting this moment. Having said that, this is a love story, a different kind of romance. And when we deal with romance, we deal with love songs, right? And they're always about what we have or what we've lost or what's about to come. And so having said that, I'm just wondering what your favorite love song is.
Well, first of all, I love how you phrase that, because yeah, love, songs about love are songs about loss, and songs about loss are sounds about love. So yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. The one that I've been listening to very lately is "To Love Somebody" by the Bee Gees in their pre-disco years.
Oh yeah, I love that song. To love somebody. Yeah.
To love somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got this lacrimal violin, and it's so majestic, and that's the one that's been rocking me lately.
Okay. Oh wow. I like, you know which one I like? I like
Yeah, what about
Another
you?
Sad Love Song by Toni Braxton. Have you ever heard that one?
Yeah.
I love
Give me a bit.
You want to hear something? It's just
Yeah.
another sad love song. That's it.
That could have been another title for the movie.
It could have been. Ooh, good point. Good point. I also wanted to have a little chat with you about those scenes that were shot completely in the dark, with the exception of the light coming from the trailer. And a lot of things were shot in the dark, like when she's sitting on top of the mountain toward the end of the film, gazing at the stars. What was the inspiration for that? Because I can't imagine that was easy to shoot.
It's for all these different scenes, we used all sorts of different techniques, and since we were dealing with, it was such a small crew and a small budget, we had to kind of reach back and use some old school techniques of ways to make these things happen. And sometimes we would shoot, it's day for night, and shoot an evening and then make it darker later. In the case of a scene in the mountain, we were literally just racing sunset, and nature blessed us with the perfect little moment up there. The scene outside the trailer that's completely black that was just pure night. And I used to do theater, and that scene felt to me almost theatrical, like we were on a set, like even the earth felt like we were on a stage somehow. And I kind of liked that. It, in a movie that deals so much with nature and our relationship to it, it felt important to have different moments and aspects of nature feel different ways, that night can feel different ways and look different ways, or the wind can sound different, leaves can change. That all sort of goes into the ideas behind it.
Okay. And last but not least, what was the inspiration of using her? She was kind of stargazing and sun gazing to a certain extent. Like, she had her book for the day and she had her book for the night. What was the inspiration to include that? Because I thought that was really brilliant, considering that she was out there, in the desert by herself, waiting for Leto to show up.
Yeah, it's a movie about healing, and I think healing is so often about routine. Routine can be so powerful. It can be even radical and brave to simply do something every day, whether it's to make coffee or to look at the stars. It can be difficult and noble, and healing can require that. And then healing can also at some point require the breaking of a routine and stepping beyond these things we've been using to get ourselves to a certain place. And I wanted to show that with this character, a journey through healing, a journey through routine.
Now that you say that, I totally got that, because her routine was broken at the end after Leto came and went. Because most of the film, we saw her, get her crawfish together, have her coffee, do her thing, and then just kind of wait for him to come. And then after she saw him, her routine was broken a little bit. Oh, you are deep, brother Max. You are deep. You are deep. But having said that, that is my time. And I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, I really did enjoy this film. And I think it's so, so very special. And I'm hoping that we see more and more of it as award season starts to rev up, because it's beautiful and it says so much with so little. Thank you so very much for your time.
Oh, thank you so much. Great questions. Really nice to talk to you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Okay, I love talking to Max. So now what I'm gonna do is, and I'm sorry y'all caught me. I was in the middle of trying to do something. It was like, ooh, there she is. But now I'm gonna play the interview with Wes and Dale Dickey from A Love Song. You're gonna love them.
Oh man, this film, it really, really touched my heart. I can't even find the words to articulate how beautiful it was, but I'm gonna try. So I just want to acknowledge both of you for being two of the OGs in the game. I've seen both of your work for years and years and years and years and years. And you guys are great American iconic actors who have brought a plethora of characters to the screen that are either villainous, warriors, tough, or whatever. And Hollywood usually doesn't let these type of stories come to the forefront, especially with this age range. But I think people are kind of ready for it. And I think they might even need it. So having said that, how did it feel for both of you, Wes and Dale, to portray these perfectly imperfect characters, Faye and Leto? And I'll start with Dale first.
Well, thank you. You're so eloquent, and what a beautiful introduction to the film. I loved playing Faye. I loved the story, the quietness and the simpleness, the simple beauty of someone living in isolation and trying to find her way back, and slowly making connections and figuring out what is love without anyone to share it with. And it was just a wonderful challenge and opportunity. Max Walker Silverman is really gifted, and I wanted to help him tell his story. And I was nervous. I was insecure doing a lead role with my big old face up there the whole time. But we all trusted each other and just went out there and gave it our all. And it was a glorious experience.
Listen, you don't have nothing to be afraid of. It's about time we
Oh,
saw your
honey.
big old face up there leading the film. Okay?
I wish I had your beautiful big smile.
No, you got a beautiful big smile, but it's yours.
No, thank
right?
you, dear. Right.
You're
You were
welcome.
right.
I
will
got
take
you.
it. Thank
I got you. Wes, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, it was a great time for me as well, because it got me out of a rut of the kind of things that I'd been doing for so long. It was a matter of, wow, can I really, can I do it? Is it really was something that I had to ask myself, and really a test of myself, which is something I've been doing the larger part of my life, is testing myself, right? But this was a whole lot of fun, as well as getting used to the new method of filmmaking during the pandemic. Was was quite the challenge, and I do love a good challenge.
I know that's right. Real quick, in the little bit of time I have left, my favorite moment was watching you guys sing that love song together. But what is your favorite love? That was my favorite moment ever. But what is your favorite love song, if you have one? I'll start with Lito this time.
What is my favorite?
Lito, why did I say Lito? I meant West, but you know what I meant.
Yeah. So convincing.
Okay. My favorite love song has something to do with the same old me. It's just the same old me, loving the same sweet you. That one, but I have a penchant for Be Kind to Me as well.
I loved Be Kind to Me. Dale?
That might be my new favorite, Be Kind to Me. But there's so many, but I always think of my mom, Moon River, from years ago. But I also really love film soundtracks, and I can't name the track, but the soundtrack to Out of Africa, when they're flying on that airplane over the beautiful birds, and it's just this most beautiful romantic moment. I just love that love song there, that theme. Yeah.
You got me over here schwitzing. And this is why both of y'all are the best that Hollywood has to offer, straight up. I'm so happy. I hope that this film makes it all the way through until January, February, March, whenever the Oscars are and the Spirit Awards, because y'all deserve all of that and even more. Oh, I'm crying. Y'all deserve all of that and more. I'm so happy that you took time out for me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for a love song. It was beautiful.
Thanks for your support, Carla.
I got you, Dale Dickey.
I know.
West Studio, I got y'all.
Thank you.
You do.
You got our back.
I love me some Dale Dickey. I've interviewed her before when I was over at Universal Broadcasting Network, and she came over and she co-hosted with myself and Tony Sweet. She's a real one, y'all. And again, you guys keep a lookout. I think it's only in theaters right now, but keep a lookout for A Love Song. It is beautiful filmmaking. All right, let's talk a little bit about some Easter Sunday, shall we? So Easter Sunday is produced by Steven Spielberg in part for Universal Pictures. It's directed by Jay Chandrasekhar, and he actually directed and created a web series that I was on called Beer Fest. So we had like a little mini reunion. I didn't remember what part I played and he didn't remember me, so it was all good. It's probably a good thing. But anyway, this film was released on August 5th. It stars comedian Joe Coy, Tia Carrera, Lydia Gaston, Tiffany Haddish, Eva Noblezada. Eva is on a roll. Remember I just talked about her being in, what was the film I said she was in? In Luck. She's on a roll. She got 2 movies out this summer. Get it, Eva. And Jimmy O Yang. Now, this is set around a family gathering to celebrate Easter Sunday. The comedy in this film is based on Joe Coy's life experiences as a Filipino and a stand-up comedian in the industry in Hollywood, trying to navigate all of what that is. So he returns home to celebrate Easter with his riotous, bickering eating, drinking, laughing, loving family. The commonality of family in this film is what you want to know most and first and foremost, regardless of race, because each family has a messy auntie, each family has a mother that's a helicopter mom or a mom that's just doing too much. We all got them. And then there's always, as an actor, there's always the issue of the accents. When you go into, like, for example, when I had dreadlocks, I would consistently get auditions for people from the islands. Do I look like somebody that can do an island accent? I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I can't do no Jamaican accent. Me trying to do a Jamaican accent sounds like a really bad Spanish accent. It's just busted. But but when you're Asian or when you're Latina, they always want you to come in and do some type of accent, like that's how you naturally talk. When you're a Black actor, they want you to come in and they want you talking like, and doing all that. Nobody I know talks like that. Nobody I know acts like that. And it's just perpetuating a stereotype that there are people now, don't get me wrong, there are people in the community that do act like that and do talk like that. I just don't know a whole lot of them. Just saying. And I don't talk like that. And neither does Joe Coy. So he has some celebrity cameos from his friends in the industry, like ranging from Tiffany Haddish to Wanye from Boys to Men. And the funniest part in the movie is when they did this karaoke to the Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling, who Joe told me that the Asian dude in Black Eyed Peas is his buddy. So that was that. But I have interviews with Jay, Tia, Lydia, and Joy. And I'm going to start with Jay. So take a look and a listen to this interview with Jay from Easter Sunday.
Hey, Jay.
Hi, Carla.
How you doing?
Oh, great. Fantastic.
Listen, Easter Sunday had me howling.
Oh.
Because I thought about all those Easter Sundays that I spent with my family and the drama and the conundrums that would go on with that. Did you ever have some issues like that with your family growing up? Like, was Easter Sunday a thing, or was it another holiday?
It was, for us, it was mostly Christmas. I mean, because everybody showed up in our house, and we'd have my uncles would all want to look like Burt Reynolds, so they'd all grow mustaches. And my aunts all were trying to set me up with like a nice Indian girl. And, my mother was like having none of it. So, yeah, I mean, we just wanted to make a movie that works. If you have a mother and you know that she can be a little bit of a ball breaker, we just wanted it to sort of work for all the different cultures.
I also love that you use the project to also shed a little light on the fact that actors, when we are of ethnicity, are often asked or required in some instances to do something that is not innately who we are, that other people think is us. As an actor, how many times have you encountered that, and how did you handle it?
Well, look, I mean, film progress and diversity is a step-by-step thing. And so initially, people who have some ethnicity are going to end up doing accents. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, right? But as the country and the population grows, there are more and more people who are Indian who speak like this from Chicago, right?
Right.
And so then we're like, well, why can't we be on the screen? And that's the next step in the sort of journey of this, diversification. The reality is, diverse movies only work if they make money, right? I mean, they're show business, right? They have to work, and this movie, I said to Joe, let's not make a representation movie. Let's make a comedy that works and that people laugh at, and let's hire Filipinos and Filipino Americans to be in it. Because there's a lot of Filipinos and Filipino Americans who, this is the first one, right? They've never really gotten a chance to really be funny. And here they are, being funny all over the place. And what'll happen is, hopefully, is filmmakers of all kinds of races and colors and sizes will go, that guy, Eugene Cordero in Easter Sunday was really funny. Let's put him in our movie.
I love it.
Step by step.
I love it. It was like my Filipino version of soul food.
Yes.
Thank you so
Okay.
much, Jay. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I love what he said about how eventually it will change, and how, we have to be a little more mindful and recognize when somebody doesn't have an accent, and you know, and that there's nothing wrong with having an accent. Like I said, we know people like that. They just not in my family. So thank you, Jay. Appreciate you. All right. So now we're gonna mess with the messy auntie and the messy mama, who are played by Tia Carrera and Lydia Gaston. Here we go. Oh, and let me just, before I say this, I was trying to get them, I was trying to be respectful and say a word that Joe had taught me and totally butchered it. And they tried to help me at the end. And it just did not go as planned. But you'll see. Take a look and a listen, y'all.
Y'all gave me life singing in that karaoke scene. Y'all were singing loud and proud. And as somebody who's a singer, I was like, get it! Wow. Have you ever had to do something like that in a film before?
I've never had to do anything like that in a film before. I've sung in musical theater, but not in a film. And karaoke, actually, most Filipinos are karaoke fans. I'm usually in the chorus of a karaoke.
Oh, you're so funny. No, you know, the Filipinos are the singers of Asia. Like Arnel Pineda, not for nothing. He's the head of Journey because we're the singers. So we love a karaoke party. It had to be there.
Yeah. And the joke about the dress, everything. How many times have y'all dipped into TJ Maxx or Marshalls and then been out somewhere and saw somebody in your fit out? I'll start with you first, Tia.
I remember when I first moved to Hollywood, I went and got this Betsy Johnson cherry dress. I walked into a Hollywood party. Another girl was wearing that cherry dress. I wanted to crawl into a hole. I'm like, no! And I was like, well, at least I'm wearing it better. So,
you not too far from Tita Teresa?
Not too far.
How about you, Lydia?
I'm a New Yorker, and I often walk around in just like loose pants and a top, but my mother and I used to have look-alike dresses, you know, mother-daughter dresses.
Oh
yes.
no!
Yes.
Oh no!
Yeah, she was also Lydia, so I was the complete Lydia Junior. You know?
My gosh!
Yeah, she would have clothes made for us, and they were exactly the same.
That is
hysterical.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
A lot of therapy for that. A lot of therapy.
I think so.
Not you. I am an individual.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of mothers, what is the one time that your mother was guilting you and you were like, oh, for real? Were you going to guilt me over this? What would you say, Lydia?
My mother always wanted me to come out in the morning smiling. I don't know why that was. Maybe she was a stage mom. But if I came out, especially when I was a teenager and I was like, you know, bad mood all the time and you're feeling lousy, she would crumple up a piece of napkin and say, you know, your face, it looks like this. And she would wrinkle a napkin.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Your mom was hardcore, Jack.
I know, tiger mom.
Right?
I don't know. My mom couldn't guilt me out. You know why? Because I was guilty. I was guilty. I will admit it. I was always guilty.
I'll try to wrap it up with this. Okay. Joe taught me this room in the other word, in the other room, and I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. Malakita? No.
Yeah.
Mahal kita.
Mahalikita.
Mahal.
Mahal.
Kita.
Mahal.
Kita.
Kita.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you back.
Oh.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you. Salamat.
Salamat.
See what I mean? Just totally butchered it, and it was just so busted. But I love Tia and Lydia. They were a lot of fun. Me and Tia need to go have cocktails sometime. I'm just saying. All right. And last but not least, y'all. Oh, but you know what? Before I get to Joe Coy, let me talk about this Bullet Train and these 13 Lives before I get to that. So Bullet Train was released again on Friday, August 5th. It is directed by David Late for Columbia Pictures and is produced in part by Antoine Fuqua. So it stars Brad Pitt, Andrew Koji, Michael Shannon, Joey King, who y'all might remember from The Princess, my boy Brian Tyree Henry, Andrew Taylor Johnson, and Bad Bunny, aka Benito A. Martinez Ocasio. So let me just say that Ladybug, who is played by Brad Pitt, he is an unlucky assassin. I don't know what's up with these people being unlucky in these movies, but I kind of was there for all of it. He's determined to do his job peacefully after one too many gigs has gone off the rails. But fate, however, may have other plans, as his latest mission puts him on a collision course with lethal adversaries from around the globe, all with connected yet conflicting objectives on the world's fastest train. Got it? Okay. So it's based on a book by Kotaro Osaka and produced by Yuma and I think I got their last name wrong, but the first name is Yuma, and I got the second name wrong too. I think it's Roisoku Saigas is what I think it is. But anyway, they're the co-founders of the Tokyo and New York-based production company, which brings contemporary Japanese storytelling to Hollywood. So, having said that, this film has lots of action, lots of blood, lots of people dying. It's like, again, it's like Clue, but it's on a bullet train. And it's very reminiscent. It has some elements of Quentin Tarantino, who was a huge influence for David. So it kind of feels like Kill Bill on a train, but it's good. I kind of dug it. Um, it's like David's cinematic love letter to Quentin Tarantino, for lack of a better way to say it. It moves faster than a speeding train. I know, no pun intended, but I did. And it has a cameo from Sandra Bullock. It's really, I enjoyed it. It was short and to the point, and I had a good time. All right, another film that was released on August 5th is the film I was talking about a little earlier. It's called 13 Lives. And it also was released on August 5th. A lot of movies dropped this past Friday, y'all. It's directed by Ron Howard for United Artists. Is releasing. It stars Colin Farrell, Joel Edgerton, and Viggo Mortensen. It's based on a true story where there was a rescue mission assembled in Thailand where a group of young boys and their soccer coach were trapped in a system of underground caves that are flooding out. Even though this is a true story, you can't help but get invested. Even though you know how it's going to end, you can't help but get invested. And that is due to the storytelling, directing of Ron Howard. I haven't seen a film like this that he's done since Backdraft, the one with the fire. He has a very unique, special way of telling stories with cinema that just kind of it gets you and turns you all up. It's just beautiful the way he can tell a story. But this story is not about performances. It's not about the script. It's about these young boys, and you become invested in the story about the boys, and it becomes a story about humanity and the heart of humanity and what happens when the globe comes together for the sake of one, or in this case, 13 individuals. It is in theaters right now. The stunts and the cinematography in this film are bananas. There's this one scene where Colin Farrell literally is swimming upside down with the tanks on his back, and they were trained by the real scuba divers that actually did this rescue mission. If you are an adrenaline action junkie like me, you will love this movie. I love all of Ron Howard's films, so he can do no wrong to me. Again, it's called 13 Lives, and it's in theaters right now. Now, DC League Super Pets was actually released on July 29th. It's directed and written by Jared Stern for Warner Brothers Animation, and it stars Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson. It deals with Crypto, the Superdog, and Superman, who are inseparable best friends, sharing the same superpowers and fighting crime side by side in Metropolis. However, Crypto has to master his own powers for a rescue mission when Superman is kidnapped. Now, it's fun. It's DC Super Pet, DC League of Super Pets. How you gonna be mad at that? How you not gonna have fun at DC League of Super Pets? I was all up in my feelings because as a former dog owner, it made me really miss my dog. So people that have furry best friends, you're really gonna appreciate your pets a little bit more. And the chemistry between Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart is one thing to have them on screen as real live people, but their chemistry bleeds over into the animation portion. And I loved it. I kind of had a good time, and kids are going to have a good time too. Again, it's called DC League of Super Pets, and it is going to be is in theaters right now on July 29th. Now, I do want to talk about Nope real quick. I know it was released on July 22nd, and I wasn't able to see, I don't think I was able to see it before it was released because there was a bunch of stuff going on in my household, but I did see it. And what I'm going to do is, instead of talking about it here today, I'm going to bring Brooke, my girlfriend, Brooke Obi from XO Nicole, to come over, and we're going to do a whole episode where we're going to deconstruct this film because there's been a lot of conversations about it, black, white, otherwise, and it's very polarizing. People either really love it or they really hate it. But me and Brooke had a little conversation. I'm gonna bring her over here to talk about it. So before I get to the end of the show, I want to play you this interview with Joe Coy. Baby, we had a good time talking about Easter Sunday.
What's up, Joe?
How are you?
I am great. I want to know why y'all picked What a Feeling for the karaoke, because that's my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, good.
That's my favorite part, because y'all were living your best life.
You bet. And that's the beauty of this film. It's like, you know, when you get a family like this, that's just a family first and foremost. It doesn't matter what ethnicity you are. We're a family first, and we're telling our story, and you're gonna relate to it. Mm-hmm. And that karaoke scene it's a beautiful scene because that is us. That party scene right there is legit my house. Every holiday, every family member is singing karaoke songs for about 8 hours straight. And of course, that song is just a fun song. You know, we wanted the energy to be high. And of course, one of the members of the Black Eyed Peas, good friend of mine, is Apple to App. He's Filipino. So, you know, it's a cool little shout out. We want to keep the elements of Filipino in there and let people be aware.
It's like us with the electric slide. You know what I mean? It's like y'all got karaoke, we got the electric slide.
And we have electric slide.
Yes!
And you go to any Filipino party, it brings out an electric slide all day, man.
That's pure comedy.
And that's the beauty of this movie. It's like you're gonna relate to that. It's like that, like learning about other people's cultures, and just at the end of the movie, you'll be like, oh, we're just like that. That's why we need more stories like this.
Absolutely. And speaking of your friends like the Black Eyed Peas, how'd you get Wanye, Tiffany, Lou Diamond? How'd you get them to come in and do some cameos?
So Wanye is just my best friend. So yeah, he'll pop up at my shows. I pop up at his shows, and he's just a great guy. His wife is also half Filipino. I don't know if you know this, but black people and Filipinos are like hand in glove. Ask
I know now.
Ask Byron Scott, Ryan Coogler, ask all these people. You can be like, oh, really? Your wife's Filipino? And it's just, that was a phone call. I was like, Wanya, you're doing this. He's like, of course. And then Tiffany, we go, 18 years back. She used to hold my baby when I was on stage at the Laugh Factory. So I've known Tiffany almost 20 years. So we're just, keep your circles tight and be good to everyone you know. Be a good person, because that's who Tiffany is and that's who I am. And we always have each other's backs,
I understand that.
Yeah.
I do. One last question. I wanted to know, as I'm an actress as well, and I know how disconcerting and annoying it can be when you walk in the room and they want you to be something that you're like, nobody in my family acts and talks like this. Mm-hmm. So I love that you put this in the movie, and what was the inspiration to do it that way?
The character of my mother on stage is my mother. Mm-hmm. The joke isn't the accent. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes me mad, is when I hear that note. It's like you listen to it and you understand it. It's like, oh, that's a mom being a mom. Her accent is nothing. That's just who she is. So when I get the note to like, hey, can you do this accent? It's like, no, the joke's not the accent. We're not doing that anymore. Now, if you're gonna have a Filipino woman playing herself and she just happens to have an accent, then we'll keep that. But I'm not gonna go in there and use my mom's accent for a role. I was getting that. That's how it was in Hollywood for me.
I know.
And it's like, why do I need to accent for? I don't get it. And it's just a blessing that someone like Steven Spielberg got it. Steven saw my special and he was like, yeah, I get it. You be you, and you make that movie with your mom in it, and we'll let her have the accent. And we'll play a real family that lives here in America, and that's it.
Love it.
I love it.
That is my time. Oh, I can talk to you for like another 10 minutes.
Oh, I promise. Mike, watch. Katie and I are going to sit down. We're going to go over this whole list, and we're going to do full-on interviews with everybody. We're not stopping on this.
Okay.
I promise you.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to look you up on social media and be like, all right, Joe, remember
Say
what
I
you
love
said.
you. Say I love you in Tagalog. Mahal kita.
Mahal tika.
Mahal kita.
Mahal kita.
There you go. I love you.
Yeah. Oops.
It's okay.
All right.
I love you.
Love you, Black.
Bye.
See, I got it right when I did it with Joe, but for some reason, when I did it with the ladies, I messed it all the way up. So again, you guys, this is a recap of what I spoke about. You want to check out Luck. Oop, where'd it go? Where is it? Okay. It won't show up. What's going on? I don't understand. Hold on, give me 1 second. So, oops. we want to check out. Sorry, y'all. I'm having difficulties. Having having difficulties. All right. Let's see. Okay, my pictures are not showing up for whatever reason, but you want to check out Luck, which is on Apple TV Plus, is streaming right now. You want to check out Easter Sunday, which is in theaters by Universal Pictures, starring Joe Coy. You want to check out Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. You want to check out my boy Matt Smith on The House of the Dragons at HBO Max, which is part of the Game of Thrones franchise. You want to check out my interview with Gugu Mbata Raw for Surface, which is streaming on Apple TV Plus. You also want to check out DC League of Super Pets, which is on HBO Max and streaming in theaters. You also want to check out, I think that was everything. Yeah, you guys? Yeah. And then, so I'm going to bring Brooke Obi over here. I'll give you guys that date. I'll stay tuned for the date that she's going to come and we're going to deconstruct Nope. But next week, I have, excuse me, an interview for you with the director from Mac and Rita. I have reviews on Emily the Criminal, Beast, Summering, and Dragon Ball Superhero. So again, if this is your first time joining us, sister, give me a big old thumbs up to let me know you were here. Click that bell for notifications if you were on YouTube, if you were on Twitter, LinkedIn, or Facebook Live. Please subscribe to the channel. You never know who you might see here at the Curvy Critic with Carla Renata. Oh, and be on the lookout because I did, by the time the film comes out, I would have completed interviews with Will Packer, Idris Elba, and the girls from Beast on behalf of XO Nicole. Thank you, Brooke Obi. So yeah, you guys, until the next time, next week, I will be here next week. I promise I'll be here next week. And then at some point, I'm going to give you a preview of the Toronto International Film Festival because I plan on going there as well. So, all right. Until the next time, wash them hands, stay safe, baby, between monkeypox and COVID. We ain't ever going to get out of this thing. Ever. Stay safe, stay sane. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm a little messy coming back after 2 weeks, but I'll have it together next week. And love, peace, and hair grease, and deuces until the next time.